We have definitely taken changes thanks to her actions, thanks to Mamie's actions. We have definitely shifted some things and seen progress, but that doesn't mean that the work is done.
What do you believe Black people, who are arguably the most familiar with the tragedy of Emmett Till's murder, can gain from watching Till?
I think a lot of us in general don't know about Mamie, because this is a film that is about her journey and her point of view, her journey in expanding activist consciousness. There's so much information related to what was tied to her story, including freedom fighters like Dr. T.R.M. Howard and Ruby Hurley and Medgar Evers and Myrlie Evers and the community of Mound Bayou. There's so much information there that I don't think is common knowledge. And so there's a lot to be gained from that. I think the film is very reflective of our present realities as well. I believe that people will be able to see themselves in the humanities that are presented on screen.
Danielle, what did you learn about Mamie Till Mobley when stepping into this role that surprised you?
I think the interesting thing is the tracking of her from being a person who considered herself to be a nobody who comes into a somebody, like her words, right? She said, I didn't want to be a nobody anymore. The surprise is the switch, right? The challenge of being deep in such a kind of confusion and terror and solitude, seemingly solitude, though she was surrounded with community in a certain way. And to come up out of that, that's the surprise, that's the joy. How do you find your way through the muck? How human she is and how extraordinary she becomes. It's hard to describe what a mother knows. The first thing I noticed when I became a mother was that my hands were busy all the time. My hand knew him with my eyes closed, just like I know his laughter in a crowded room. It's the same thing when you know all of someone. This was my boy, Emmett Till.
Whew, Danielle Deadwyler, what a force. What a force. I mean, the work she does in this film is revelatory. She sent in an audition tape and it blew me away. When she was cast for the role, we spent a few months before production going through every single emotional beat and nuance in the script, and she dove so deeply into the research and formed her own relationships with people who can communicate firsthand accounts to her and supplement the research that she was already doing. And so by the time we got on set, she already had such an inherent emotional and psychological understanding of who Mamie was and the journey that she was going to be on in the film. And so she brought it, and working with her was a dream.
Jalen, as a Black boy living almost 70 years after Emmett Till's death, how do you feel that the world sees you? And do you feel that much has really changed since then?
I feel like it is an honor to be able to portray this child, but I don't think they should see me just because I'm on a TV screen or I'm on a movie screen, because there are hundreds of thousands of Black boys who are not seen. And when they are, it's because they're no longer here to make their impact. We have definitely taken changes thanks to her actions, thanks to Mamie's actions. We have definitely shifted some things and come to a better and seen progress. But that doesn't mean that the work is done. And that doesn't mean that everything will be changed this year, next year, tomorrow, today. But this project affecting the world is the next step in progress for years to come.
Danielle, as a mother, I'm sure this was an extremely emotionally taxing role. Is there anything from this project that you feel will stick with you?
I don't think I pulled as much from my own personal experience as I did from the kind of greater Black American experience of knowing that these things happen that I've always known about. But I have to have dialogue with my son about this kind of stuff all the time. It's a discussion about Buffalo. It's a discussion about Uvalde. It's a discussion about Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery. Oftentimes a daily or a monthly or weekly exchange. And so how to mother differently is what I'm often tasked with. I'm honest with my son in general, but to give as much as I possibly can. short of derailing the Black boy joy.